Hey guys, welcome back to Lap 1 News, and today we're going to be talking about Ferrari and their 2019 F1 season. So let's start with pre-season testing. They definitely seemed like the best team and the quickest team from winter testing. That turned out to be bollocks. When they arrived in Australia, I don't think anybody expected them to be half a second to a second slower than Mercedes. That was really confusing because we saw in testing that they were so much quicker, and then suddenly the pace is gone. They arrived saying that Sebastian Vettel would be their number one, and Charles was saying all the right things, that was perfectly fine, but he needed to prove to the team that he could be the number one driver. We'll get on to how that turned out later in the video. So, Bahrain was next. They did really well in Bahrain until Leclerc's engine it didn't die, but it lost a lot of power, and Charles Leclerc really lost out in that. And it was Mercedes, because Mercedes are always there to capitalise on Ferrari's mistakes. Obviously Vettel is busy spinning somewhere, I don't know what happened for him in that race. And then so after that, they kind of didn't really show up for the first half of the season. I think Canada springs to mind. They did have a good Canadian Grand Prix, but obviously Vettel was right in the lead, and then he locked up, went across the grass, and rejoined in an unsafe manner, or what was judged to be an unsafe manner, and so he got a penalty. Personally, I think moving the boards after the end was a bit petulant and a bit childish from Seb. Other people thought it was funny, but I didn't really agree with that, to be honest. So, and then after that, I mean, even places like Hungary, they just disappeared. They had no pace whatsoever in the first half of the season. Then we come back after the summer break, and they have made big strides. They made big strides. Spa, obviously, with the tragic events of Antoine Hubert, Charles Leclerc, a good friend of Hubert, rose above that and won the race, and I don't think anybody was sad to see that happen in winning the race, obviously. And then we move on to Monza, where Charles Leclerc gets his second and final race win of the season with Ferrari. And to win in front of the home fans at Monza, in front of the Tifosi, I think must have been up there with one of his greatest moments of his life. I mean, the pole position and the win. I don't think that race could have gone any better for him. And then Sebastian Vettel, the next race, gets his first win of the season and only win of the season, leaving 3 wins for Ferrari in total. And again, that was a good race. Charles Leclerc was leading, and then due to strategy, it was Vettel that ended up leading the race in the end and winning it, which is, you can say what you like about whether Ferrari meant for that to happen or not. It's up for debate. I don't really think it matters, to be honest. And then it's just, they were really quick in qualifying after that, with 9 pole positions across the season, Charles Leclerc winning the most pole positions with 7 across the season, and Sebastian Vettel with his 2. But then in the race, the pace was nowhere. I mean, the the race pace was just not as strong as Mercedes' race pace was this year. And I think that's obviously the points were awarded on Sunday. So it's all right being quick on one lap, but it's just to do with their tyres, I think. It must be to do with the tyres and how they coped with the tyre wear. They just didn't cope. It really confuses me how they just failed to get on top of it. But that being said, they had a strong season. They were not as good as we thought they would be after pre-season testing, but we all bought into that pre-season testing narrative that Ferrari was so much quicker than Mercedes, and that just didn't turn out. I think the only other point I can really make is the inter-team battle between Leclerc and Vettel. That got heated. Jeez, did that get heated. I think Leclerc proved in his rookie season that he is more than a match for Sebastian there. And obviously, Vettel's a 4-time world champion, so for Leclerc to be matching him, beat him in the championship, actually, because Leclerc got 4th and Vettel got 5th, that was really impressive for me, Charles Leclerc's F1 season. So, all in all, it was a strong season. I think what happens in Brazil stays in Brazil. I think that's the best way to cover that. There was a lot of feistiness towards the end, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where that can go next year. I think Ferrari have got a Hamilton-Rosberg situation on their hands there. But I believe in Matteo Binotto. I think he can handle that as well as he needs to. And let's hope that next year Ferrari can take the fight to Mercedes a bit better than they did this year. So yeah, that is my view and my review of the Ferrari 2019 F1 season. If you like the video, make sure to like and subscribe if you want the next video, or if you want to be able to watch the next video, which will be about Red Bull coming in a few days' time. And if you didn't like it, make sure to tell me why in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys. This has been John Whittaker from Lap 1 News. I'm out.